Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Vagish Godslebhan and I welcome you to the live stream of the ESL India Premiership 2017 Day 5. Now, like I kept on going on about it since the past 4 days, I will do so once again for your benefit. So guys, we're going to be streaming the best of the teams with the best of the games every day 6:30 p.m. onwards on our various social media, that is on the Facebook page of ESL India and the YouTube gaming channel of ESL India itself. So please join us there, as you can see some of the best games of Clash Royale, Dota 2 and Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Let me remind you, this is the ESL India Premiership 2017, brought to you by Omen by HP, Zowie by BenQ, HyperX and organized by Nodwin Gaming. Now moving on to the first game of the day, ladies and gentlemen, rather the evening, considering it's 6:30 p.m. IST. Now we're going to be having a game between two amazing contenders, Rishik and Vikram Asopa. Now talking about Mr. Asopa here, goes by the same nickname Asopa. He was a semi-finalist at the Masters 2016 last year, whereas Rishik is pursuing his engineering from Kolkata, and he is going to be facing off against Mr. Vikram Asopa. Let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, Rishik is a guy who has 3,600 cups to his name, and one of his favorite players and as in characters is a Dart Goblin. So without wasting any more time and also introducing my caster for this match, Manoj Supergola, ladies and gentlemen, Clash Royale for the ESL India Premiership 2017 Day 5.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ESL India Premiership's summer iteration of the Cup. The big thank you to Vagish for that amazing intro, and looks like today we're going to have a match between Rishik and Asopa. So, looks like Vagish stole the job of introducing the players to you, so that gives me a license to just jump into the game, not waste any time. Looks like Asopa has just revealed 3 of his cards so far and a baby dragon. That's pretty good considering what cards Rishik has played so far. The princess didn't do much of anything actually, just got distracted by the knight. So far, neither player was able to successfully push past the mid line, but another Barbarian Hut coming down from Risk. Asopa has a bit of elixir read, but that is because of the heavy cost of the Barbarian Hut. Let's see if he is able to translate a non-static deck into a victory. Another well-placed meatball coming out from Risk. Managed to hit the tower, hit the knight as well as hit the bowler. And that poison is just going to kill both the princess and do quite a bit of damage to the tower. So those little pack of 3 minions are going to sort of destroy the bowler, leaving the tower with the job of only 1 hit. And in case you guys are wondering why it's only me today, it's because unfortunately Rishik couldn't be here. I really miss Bhagat Billa, somebody to talk to during these casts, but I digress. The Barbarian Hut almost dead. Oh, look at that. The 7th card revealed from Risk, and he places it right in a good position to hit both the bowler, the Electro Wizard, as well as the tower. But I don't think it's going to see much play because of the Electro Wizard's amazing interrupts every time he zaps. So looks like for the first time in quite a while, the Baby Dragon is going to go ahead unfettered, doing a lot of damage to the tower. The Baby Dragon being protected by the Miner being a very heavy tank. The Baby Dragon has done quite a bit of damage to the tower, almost 2/3 of its HP, leaving it at 238 HP out of a lot. I really disagree with the usage of Ice Golem in Risk's deck because, you know, it's not such a good card anymore in tournaments. 6 seconds left, the tower going down because of Asopa's poison. And there we go. Game 1 goes to Asopa. Some good manners coming out from Risk over there. The GG well played emotes coming out. So let me take this little bit of time to just talk about the and if you guys are wondering why some stuff has changed, maybe we'll reveal it later, but right now we're just waiting on the players to start their next match. You know, I really wish somebody else was with me right here so that I could talk about the game. If I talk about it now, it'll be just like a real monotonous monologue, which I really don't like to do. Oh, a little bit of good news for you guys. So you don't have to listen to me drivel on for much longer because the second game has almost started, and it has. So I wonder if either of the players has changed his deck to counter their strikes. So far, it doesn't look like it. Princess being backed away by the Miner, and the Miner being killed by the Knight in revenge. Oh, looks like Risk may have replaced his crossbow with the mortar. And I see the Mega Minion coming out, which is also a new addition. So I'd say he has fairly toppled his deck a little. Whereas I don't think Asopa's has made any changes so far. Is that log going to hit Princess? Yes, it is. So even though he did manage to push in, he did manage to clear out whatever Risk was sending towards him, he managed to clear out the mortar, but the Baby Dragon and the bowler combo just wasn't good enough, I guess, to make it past the mid line. However, that poison is doing a lot of work. Okay, so call me stuck up, but he put the mortar right on poison. That is a little strange, to be honest. Like, that mortar is right now doing nothing. It's just a mana drain, sorry, an elixir drain. It managed to get one shot off on the tower, but one shot is as good as no shots. If the tower's not dead, it's not dead. While we are looking at Asopa's pretty much the same deck, he's managed to clear more than half HP of this tower. This is quite strange. So it looks like Asopa hasn't changed his deck at all. Yeah, right. Why fix something that isn't broken? If it works for you and you're able to one crown, two crown, three crown, any tower, then why not? Right? Looks like that baby dragon again is going to get quite a few shots off onto the tower. Asopa wanted to cycle some of his elixir, drops down an Alpha Wizard, who deftly manages to avoid the rocket, which is another new pad that his opponent is using. Will the miner be able to take the counter down? Oh, he leaves his at 38 HP. So now all Asopa has to do to win this entire series is just hold out until the last few seconds and grab that 38 HP of the tower, and that's it, I guess. So let's count with me, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and there we go. It's GG. So Asopa manages to clinch this matchup 2-0. That is quite a cut and clear case of just outsmarting the opponent with the same deck, which is rare to see because you would imagine people changing their decks once they finish off. But again, good matches. You have been watching the ESL India Premiership Summer Series. Big thank you to our title sponsor, Omen by HP. Thank you to Zoe by BenQ, as well as HyperX. This is Manoj Supergola casting on behalf of Nodwin Gaming, who is actually taking care of this entire tournament. And now I'm going to hand it over to my very good friend and our in-house host, Vagish Godslayer Bhan. Bye-bye.
Back again with the ESL India Premiership 2017, day 5, people. We just got done with a wonderful match of Clash Royale. Clean victory in the name of Vikram Asopa. Congratulations, lad, you did well there. 2-0, not bad at all. Rishik, hard luck, my man. Probably next time you can do better. And everybody who's joining us just about now, once again, welcome to the ESL India Premiership 2017. Brought to you by Omen by HP, Zowie by BenQ, HyperX, and organized by Nodwin Gaming. I am Vagish Godslayer Bhan, and like we promised, we're taking you through the games one by one as they happen on our streams on Facebook ESL India and on YouTube on our YouTube gaming channel ESL India. Also remember, you can tweet to us using our handle @ESL_India or comment on our Facebook page. We'll be more than happy to respond to your queries as and when they come by. Also, for those who are wondering why I'm not against the usual red background behind, well, it just so happens that I've been booted by my people here at Nodwin Gaming. I'm just kidding. Nobody booted me here. We're just having a couple of revamping scenes happening in the studio, so we thought, why not take it somewhere else with some nice portraits behind me. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have Dota going to happen between two teams here. One is a Bombay-based team called Standin 5. Now, they are known to make comebacks if pressurized appropriately. I don't know if that is the correct usage of the term there, but they're a Bombay-based team and they play pretty well. They were there in the Masters last year, and they're going to be faced off against this team from all the way from Nepal. They're called Merical. Now, this team is led by the captain called Kunal Timsil, who's also an entrepreneur and captains this team, and they're pretty well known for their prolific performance in the LAN events across Nepal, and they're going to be facing against Standin 5. This match is going to be casted by Nishant Cloudex Patel and Vivek Venkatraman. So ladies and gentlemen, geared up for some 5v5 MOBA action called Dota 2 happening live at the ESL India Premiership day 5 of the stream.
A world that's turning all the time. Nothing could stop me longing for your eyes. I won't let it die. I can feel you when you're not around. When the night gets cold, I won't be alone. We won't
Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Once again, we're here for the ESL India Premiership. It's the Masters League
10
Summer
seconds
Phase 1
remaining.
for Merical versus Standin 5 in an India versus Nepal best of 1
Radiant
matchup.
team
I'm
pick.
Cloud X. With me, I've got Vivek once again. Your thoughts, Vivek? Do you think Standin 5 is going to bring their A game like they did yesterday?
I want to say something really controversial here, but I'm not going to say it. But Standin 5, they are a mixed lot. They
10
had
seconds
some
remaining.
recent success earlier on yesterday with the Phantom Assassin, and hopefully they can pull it off versus Merical.
Dire team
Yeah,
pick.
they didn't. I mean, 3C48, they are the strongest side from Nepal. They did have reasonable success earlier on. And for Merical, looks like they want to pick up the disruptor, ban out the Magnus, who is a huge favorite with Indian teams.
10
Oh yeah,
seconds
most definitely.
remaining.
Magnus is something that Standin 5 likes running personally as well. We saw them buffing up that
5
Phantom Assassin
seconds
with the
remaining.
Magnus and the Ogre. Funny
Even
thing
an
happened
Invoker,
actually.
right?
Sorry?
Even an
Oh yeah, and the
Invoker.
Invoker. Yeah, they like it
Yeah.
as well. Funny thing happened yesterday actually. We had the Standin 5 guys actually send me a message on my page after asking for feedback on what they could have done better. And obviously, since we're watching this from a very bird's eye perspective, I couldn't give them more input than their draft, than inputs on their draft. The one thing that I did offer though was their support duos looked a little wonky. They weren't going with the
5
standard
seconds remaining.
meta duo with one defensive support, one roaming support. They were just picking supports that they
Reserve
thought
time.
worked at the time. The Silencer and the Ogre, I believe,
Yeah.
was their support duo to deal with the Darkseer. So let's see if they've taken any of that into account if they're going to make some changes here.
Would you have liked an Oracle?
I would have loved an Oracle. Oracle was actually something we touched upon as well. When,
I mean,
the
I
Darkseer
do
was-
not even know what his talents are. He has gotten pretty much no play in this new patch. But yeah, it's going to be the Rubik for Standin 5, a support that is making waves in the international scene to some extent. He does get a
10
fair amount of play,
seconds remaining.
especially the Chinese teams do like him a lot. FI did play
5 seconds
a good
remaining.
Rubik in the DAC. Standin 5, they got the Slada. It should, in all likeliness, be a position for Slada. And both teams not giving away too much with the draft. Speaking of the Oracle, it would honestly not be a bad time for Standin 5 to pick one up.
I mean, the problem with that is, again, Rubik and Oracle sort of fit the same bucket, right? Not the best roaming duo, not the best roaming supports out there. You probably want to pick up either an Earth Spirit, a Monkey King, a Treant,
10
something that
seconds
can go
remaining.
cause chaos in the middle lane. For Merical are actually sitting on the
5
second
seconds
spot on the
remaining.
table. They've played just one match so far and they've actually won it. They are,
Reserve
well,
time.
they're only preceded by 3 cheers for Divine Ascension, which is 3C4DA, the other Nepalese team. So Nepal dominating the ESL India Premiership as of now.
Yeah, good to have some international competition. Always welcome. And 3C4DA, they do play some good Dota. Next set of bans coming up from Standin 5. Opening with the Disruptor Darkseer, not sure what you end up banning though.
Radiant team
It
ban.
looks like the Terrorblade is the hero of the
Dire
choice for
team
Standin
ban.
5 to ban out. Lifestealer getting banned out by 4 Merical just in case Slada will be carrying a parcel. That opportunity not going to Standin 5.
Yeah, I definitely can agree with the Lifestealer ban here that Infest
10
Bomb is
seconds remaining.
clearly something that they would have been going for if given the opportunity.
Infest is
5
pure damage,
seconds
right? When you
remaining.
infest out.
No, I think it's
Reserve
magic
time.
damage.
It's magic? Okay. Anyway, Terrorblade getting banned out. Baron getting banned out as well. Nobody wants to go with him. Both teams have the lineups fairly open. I mean, they could pretty much go in any direction. Both teams not giving away too much just yet. Lone Druid hasn't gotten play though for a really long time. And I'm not. Of course, the nerf to his talent was relevant.
Yeah,
But we
I think that is the primary reason why Lone Druid really fell off. It's been a couple of months at least since I've seen a
Yeah,
Lone
I haven't
Druid
seen a
being
Lone
picked up.
Druid in ages. Phoenix is making a comeback of sorts in the KM Major.
Yeah, sorry, you were saying the Phoenix. We actually did see some Phoenix play.
Yeah, earlier on today, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, in one of the other matches we were casting, there was a
And,
Chronosphere with the Phoenix pick in.
Yeah,
alongside
and
it, so.
even damn, I don't remember what.
EG. It was EG versus.
No. It was the other quarterfinal. At the other semi-final. OG versus EG was one. IG versus
It was-
BGJ. No.
Oh man,
No.
we have horrible memories.
We've just been casting so much
so-
Dota. We just saturated with Dota, and I'm actually thinking whether I should go home and play a pub or not because I haven't played one for a while.
But I mean, yeah, the point that we're trying to make is that yes, Phoenix has sort of come back onto the
He was
forefront.
definitely picked in the KM Major in conjunction with a Void.
It was OG versus EG. OG had a Terrorblade and EG had the Spectre and the Phoenix. I remember now. Yes,
Okay.
it was EG that had
Definitely
the Phoenix.
picked up. I mean, my memory's gone for a toss. So if you are sure about that, then I do agree. Slug getting banned out by Standin 5 could actually do well in the trial lane if it's going to be a trial lane with Slug and Rubik. So Standin 5 could have picked up that Edo, and they do have first pick coming out of this ban phase.
Fourth ban for Merical, Standin 5
Made-
made the armor reduction coming out with the Slaughter as well. But the Invoker's still in the pool, and now TA is one of the better ways to deal with the Invoker at mid. So we might just see Standin 5 snag that Invoker for themselves.
They
Great
do play
synergy
an
with-
Invoker, right?
I'm
They
sure
did.
every Indian pub star plays Invoker, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But I do like, in all seriousness, I like the Invoker here. It's another good way to deal with the Darkseer. When you have that Sunstrike coming on top of the Rubik Lift, it's fairly easy for the Rubik to simply wrap around by himself as long as he can get the D ward on the offlane observer.
Yeah.
Scoring kills with the Darkseer isn't too hard.
In the spirit.
Going to be the Ember, though.
Lots of ways to deal with this, though. For Merical, could well go for an Invoker of their own. Alternatively, we have seen Queen of Pain coming back into the draft pool quite recently.
Yeah.
Again, we saw Sumail running it just earlier on today. But I wonder if Merical is thinking of it. There'd be some nice wombo combo moments there with the Darkseer Vacuum and the Sonic Wave.
Mm-hmm. But should you really pick an Ember so early, is the question.
I mean, third pick is fair. I don't see why not. They're probably a little more worried about who their core is going to be or whether they want to reveal their hand with their core just yet. But now when I look back at the bans, you've got a Slot ban, you've got a Terrorblade ban, and you've got a Lifestealer ban. That's three crucial cores already taken out of the pool. Juggernaut is picked up on the other side. Does Standin 5 want to go back for a Phantom Assassin again, or do they have something else in mind here? I mean, another hero that comes to mind is the Sven, but we don't see too much Sven nowadays. At least we've been talking about the Sven for a while now, but we haven't seen a single pick yet.
I think we might see. Okay. It is the Legion Commander getting picked up by Standin 5.
So then you're probably right about the 4-position Slaughter in that case.
Legion Commander in the offlane, 4 Merical still have ways to deal with the duel. They could pick up the Oracle. False Promise is not too bad. They could pick up the Omni Knight. Window Wyvern is not too shabby either. A lot of ways to deal with the Legion. Or maybe just pick a strong lane and shut him down in the laning phase, and that pretty much shuts down the Legion. If he doesn't get his Blink caught, maybe an armlet early on, he's not going to amount to much.
I mean, for Merical is still looking for a roaming support. Right?
Yeah.
The Venge fits the bill nicely. You've got the swap to disjoint the duel. You've also got the Magic Missile to help get the skills on the Ember Spirit when you rotate towards mid early on. Alternatively, Earth Spirit does fit the bill here as well. I really do like the Boulder Smash versus the Legion Commander, having the ability to just stun him and silence him in place, possibly with the Magnetize for the damage over time. I think Earth Spirit is my go-to choice here for Merical support.
Yeah, if they play the Earth Spirit, it should be an Earth Spirit pick, but I think we're going to see something like the Ogre here. Not a fan?
No, I definitely could agree with the Ogre pick. Yeah, you're right. There is synergy with the Juggernaut getting bloodlusted as well. So
Trained isn't too bad.
they are spoiled for choice. I mean, we're just getting to that point where they've got so many options. Monkey King is still in the pool as well, and I see nothing wrong with picking up an MK here. 30 seconds on the clock though. They do have to make a quick decision. Hang on, has something happened here? Because the timers aren't moving down anymore.
Have we disconnected?
I'm not sure what's going on here. Everything just we're frozen in time, boys. I think someone hit the pause button. Either that or we just bugged out of here. I'm not sure which one the issue is.
Are you allowed to pause in the draft?
I'm pretty certain you are. Or at least the admin is. Alright, I'm just going to message the admin to see what happened. Okay, so we've got word that, okay, the game is indeed stuck with. No one knows what's going on here. Apparently, Dota just bugged out. This is the first time I've ever seen this happening. I swear I've never seen this, man. Either someone hit the F9 button by mistake or the draft just said, nope, no Dota for you today. So what's the solution here, admins?
What? You redo the whole draft?
I mean, you can redo it with your picks and bans. The problem with that is Standin 5 has only 14 seconds on the reserve clock. Standin 5 has 14 seconds on the reserve clock. And, well, if basically they do hit the restart button, they end up walking back with 2 minutes of reserve time. I'm still waiting for an update from the admins, guys, so please forgive me if I'm a little distracted. Because this honestly is new territory for me as well. I've never ever seen a draft getting stuck like this. Okay, I think we're just going to cut to a quick break here before we get this game underway. I don't know if the game is paused or what, but we'll see you in a bit, folks. Stick around.
As he watches through the door, a smile pulls in more and more. Wicked thoughts shape wicked ways, while we all crave, when the man yells at his son, when he finds the smoking gun. Don't you worry, little one, for we all crave, we all crave.
Well, so folks, sorry about that. Apparently the game was indeed paused. We're not too sure why, but no worries, everything is back on the way.
5 seconds remaining.
You haven't really missed much except for a Witch Doctor pick coming out from Merical Esports. They've gone ahead and banned out the Invoker on the side of Standin 5 now, so we aren't going to be seeing any Sun Strikes kicking in on top of the Witch Doctor stuns. Of course, that wasn't going to happen anyway. I honestly do feel like Standin 5 were the team that's better suited to have an Invoker in their ranks.
10
They actually,
seconds remaining.
yeah, they could have picked up the Invoker themselves, but they've got an Ember Spirit and they really do not have the space for it. But this leaves OD in the pool, and 4 Merical could pick up the OD if they want to. Looking at 4 Merical and the 2 supports, like you pointed out, they're both kind of supports that benefit more from babysitting their core. They do offer a lot of team fight. There is some heal coming out from the Witch Doctor along with the Juggernaut. But I'm not seeing them make one one-man rotations that result in a lot though.
Yeah, this is. I mean, to be honest, if this is a 4-position slaughter on Standin 5, I want to say that they have the better support duo. But if Standin 5 does end up running this as an off-lane slaughter and then just the Legion commander in the jungle, I'm probably going to start crying right here, man. Because Standin 5, they are a promising team. Let me put it this way. They're a team that I have a lot of expectations from, and I do want to see them perform well. For Merical, on the other hand, I would love to see them be in the top 8 of the Masters League as well. I really do want teams from outside of India to be coming down to the land at the end of the summer phase.
Absolutely.
So while I don't want them to actually drop down from the Masters League, I want to see Standin 5 giving them a good run for their money here, if nothing else.
Yeah, they did have a good game early on yesterday, and it looks like the last pick will be the Dead Prophet. There is a lot of push coming out from them, but I do not like the Dead Prophet. And if this game goes later and later,
I mean, I kind of like it here. I think
10 seconds remaining.
There's this subtle heal push that comes out with the Dead Prophet, Witch Doctor, and the
5
Juggernaut.
seconds remaining.
There's also the Silence, which is going to be quite useful to lock down that Ember Spirit. I think the Death Prophet does add a fair amount of value here, but the question is she going to be mincemeat in the hands of the Legion Commander? And is the Legion Commander going to be a jungle LC? Yeah, he is going to be a jungle. She is going to be a jungle LC. And in this case, I think Standin 5 have got it right. I know I criticized the jungle LC earlier on, but I'm looking again at for Merical supports. There's no one that can go in and give him any sort of contest. That LC is just going to be free farming for the most part, unless the Darkseer decides to leave the off lane and go into the jungle and piss off the LC, which is not going to happen.
You think jungle LC? I think he's going to go to the off lane though.
I'm pretty certain it's going to be a jungle. No, I'm sorry, I had to take that back.
Yeah,
I had a complete brain fart.
Could go to the jungle, but I think he's better off contesting the lane.
No, I had a brain fart moment there. There's no jungle opportunity there. That's almost certainly going to be a 4-position slaughter, yeah. But RC Assassin is their LC player, and from what I remember, he is their core, right? Okay, we'll find out. We'll find out if this is going to be... Again, another brain fart. It looks like it is going to be He's starting off with the poor man shield, so it will be a 4-position slaughter who's starting with the boots. Let's do a quick introductions. That should help us get better bearings about who's heading where. For Merical, on the Radiant side, you've got Kunyo handling that Darkseer. We saw him put on a hell of a performance at the LAN event as well on his Darkseer. You're going to have 647 on the Witch Doctor. Disruptor is going to be handled by Solo Rank Warrior 360. The Juggernaut's going to be in the hands of Madara, and you've got Dreamy playing that Death Prophet.
Ember Spirit being played by Mamacita. Spectre in the hands of Majane Araha. It's not even correctly spelled out, but okay. Disruption playing the Slada, RC playing the Legion Commander, and that leaves us with Pashu on the Rubik.
All right.
Very quickly, your predictions.
No, it's not mine. It's not in gaming production. Right?
Yeah.
But
your
my predictions, I'm gonna put my money on Standin 5 here.
Yeah, me too.
I'm a fan of this Spectre. I think the longer this game goes, the better it gets for Standin 5.
Mm-hmm.
For Merical, are going to be come 25 minutes. They're just going to be trying to mow down tower after tower. But if Standin 5 can hold it with their blinks on the LC and the Slaughter, and of course a Veil on the Ember, they should pretty much cruise through the late game phase.
Yeah, purely in terms of draft, I think Standin 5 have the advantage. The Radiant, they're great at pushing, but is pushing alone going to win you the game? At some point, you do need to take down the enemy heroes. Sure, they have great team fight. They have the Darkseer and the Disruptor, something we did see in the KM Major to great effect earlier on yesterday. But is it enough? I mean, Juggernaut, he's not going to keep up with the Spectre if the Spectre gets off to a good start. And all that Standin 5 will be waiting for is the blink on the Legion Commander, as well as some early items on the Slada and the Ember. Aggressive D-Ward maneuver here. I mean, not D-Ward.
He started with the boots.
Is he trying to snipe the courier?
He said he's gonna see the courier heading back though. Mamacita, I don't think he can stop this from happening. A moment of silence as we pay respect to this dead lizard or whatever the hell it is.
Has been killed.
Good start for Merical. That should put some gold, some much needed money in their back pockets. Well, RC continues to do his thing at the bottom lane. He started off with the points in the overwhelming odds.
Do you think Moment of Courage is a better start just so that you can trade hits early on?
I think, yeah, I would have preferred the Moment of Courage, but in this situation, I don't think it would have helped anyway. He's down for the count, and first blood should be going in favor of Standin from up for Merical here. That PMS, delaying the inevitable. One more hit will seal the deal. 6-4-7 will take first blood. Both supports off to a solid start. One with the courier snipe, one with the snipe on the LC himself.
Yeah, good stuff coming out from Merical. I mean, they could not have asked for a better early game. Super early game, actually. But, yeah, LC, he's respawned quickly, gone back to the lane. Shrines being triggered early on. Darkseer really being bullied by the Rubik and the Slada. S5 and their support.
Vicious move from him there to put the Iron Shell upon the creep instead of upon himself. He might end up dropping here. But he has the Stout Shield and he has a point in the Surge as well. In fact, he's getting back up. There's the cast. Drop down. It's going to bounce around, but bounces to the creep. There's the crush coming out from Disruption as well. They're doing a fair bit of damage in 6-4-7. His Iron Shell really not helping as much as he would have liked. Kunyo's taken a beating again. Remember, he just popped the salve as well. So this is... it's going to be quite annoying now for Kunyo. He's run out of his consumables. He's blown the Shrine already. And he's going to have to make a base trip while 6-4-7. Not too many opportunities for him to leech EXP under his tower. Scratch that. The creep wave is going to be pushing in. Pashu and Disruption are here to make him pay for that. They have to lift him, drop him on the spot, and they'll get the kill. Standin 5, opening up the scoreboard on their end as well.
Yeah, really forcing Darkseer out of lane, forcing the Salve, forcing the Shrine, and now Darkseer has to make a base trip. Good pressure coming up from the Dire on the Radiant off lane. And they would have been really pleased if Spectre got that kill. But a kill is the kill nonetheless. And speaking of kills, RC, he's dying for the second time here. Won't get the Juggernaut in return.
Jug pops the salve and makes his way out of there, resumes his farm once again. 2-1 in favor of Merical Esports. They have taken the lead. Let's take a quick peek at the net worth charts. It's a 1,000 net worth difference in favor of the Radiant side. EXP not too far behind either. There's also the middle lane, which is, I want to say it's fairly even, but Dreamy is coming out on top. He's still got his Tango to work with. Mamacita is out of consumables and he's behind on CS. Meanwhile, at top, another skirmish breaks out as Kunyo has expended most of his mana on those double Iron Shells, but hasn't managed to find a kill for them.
Yeah, Darkseer not having the best of starts to his lane. I mean, he's using all his mana, almost all his consumables. The Witch Doctor luckily ferrying a couple of clarities to that off lane. Mid lane, how's it looking? The Ember not doing too bad actually. He is behind by 4 CS, but this is a battle that the Dead Prophet should be winning hands on. And as the game progresses, I see the Ember doing a lot more with his items than the Dead Prophet.
Yeah, but all it really takes is one good support rotation for this lane to tilt either way. As of now, it is for Merical that's making those rotations and making them more successfully. The courier, of course, has respawned for Standin 5 as well. It has been upgraded. That's why we see the bottle up on Mamacita. He can't quite afford the boots just yet, and boots really quite the crucial item up against the Death Prophet and that Spirit Siphon. Bottom lane, a DD rune on the Disruptor. The Raptor Rider himself making his presence felt all over the place. RC has nowhere to go but to the grave. Be a kill again in favor. No, they won't be able to get the kill actually. There's the crush coming in from Disruption, catching 2 while RC just mans up and ends up bringing down the Juggernaut as well. That escalated quickly. I did not see that coming, man.
Fade Bolt, man. Such a value spell. The damage reduction is real.
You're gonna blame the Fade Bolt?
It really worked wonders in addition with the Moment of Courage. Of course, Disruption was part of his rotation.
It did help a little bit, but I'm pretty certain it was the 2-man crush that was the MVP over there.
But yeah, even after the crush, Juggernaut turned around to trade hits and ended up losing. And here's that first rotation we were talking about to the mid lane. Disruption with that crush And here's the Maledict coming out from the Witch Doctor, not going to amount to much. The Spirit Siphon keeping the DP alive, and it looks like the Dire will just disengage. Slada, don't think he's going to fall to that. Well, not all rotations have paid off for the Dire, but both teams going toe-to-toe in this early game.
Problem is, there was 4 folks rotating around the map for Standin 5. Juggernaut, he actually did end up going down at the bottom lane, while Spectre continues to free farm on top. So in the overall scheme of things, I want to say that Standin 5 actually does come out on top there, primarily because they got the kill on that Juggernaut and because their Spectre has been farming all the while.
Yeah, definitely. Juggernaut, he thought it was another easy kill on the Legion Commander, ended up falling in return. Not sure he expected that.
Remember, he should be able to find a kill here. He's actually level 5, so that makes his life a little harder. But he does get the Arcane Rune for now, and the moment he hits 6, there is a possible kill somewhere. He knows this as well. He's picked up his TP scroll. Bottom lane, RC. I've seen this movie before, and it doesn't end well for Standin 5. This time around, there's going to be no rotations coming his way, but he's pretty damn fast and pretty tanky with the infused raindrops as well. He does manage to survive. Disruption TPs, and he's already got the sprint rolling. He's looking to get that crush, but I don't think they can score a kill here.
Yeah, unlikely without the duel. More pressure on the Radiant though. They need to transition these skills into objectives as soon as possible, and they'll be looking to do that once the exhaust system is online. But the Dire, they do benefit from a slower game. I mean, more time for the Spectre is what you really want in such a scenario.
Yeah, but the Merical lineup is such that they want to keep it calm and keep it quiet till the Death Prophet gets her first few items online. And the moment that happens, they want to make some plays and take some towers. Kunyo gonna get lifted mid-surge. That ought to be his death here. They do have the Siphoning Dagger, the Spectral Dagger actually following him. Arshu doesn't have enough mana for another Fate Bolt, and they are gonna have to turn and run. Solo rank warrior, he doesn't have a point in the glimpse, and thus cannot consider making a counterplay on that Spectre. Again, both sides end up surviving. No one ends up dropping there. Well, Darkseer is going to drop one good Ion Shell on his way out, I assume, on a creep wave.
I do have a slight problem with the way... Okay, I'm going to hold on to that. Just a bit of Harris in the mid lane. I do have a slight problem. Okay.
Amasita, why would you stick around to find out what happens next?
Ouch.
That left me scratching my head. That was... I mean, that should not be happening in the Masters League of the ESL India Premiership. Someone's getting relegated at this rate.
Yeah, so my issue with how Disrupt is being played here is, I mean, you want to keep him in the safe lane and you want to get him as many levels as you can, because taking 2 skill points, gosh, this game is so action-packed. The crush will miss.
Whiffing on the crush there, but can't really blame him for that. Surge Darkseer versus a sprinting Slada. I put my money on the Darkseer. Pashu, what's he here to do? He's trying to snag a bounty rune, but there is none available. Does he have any observer boards? Is that his objective? No, he's got sentries though if he wants to plant some around here, but I think he's going to meet his sad demise. There's a Death Prophet with a surge. What is she waiting for? Okay, casual Ion Shell damage, just for style points. Oh, they want both. Well done there. Very well done if they can get this kill as well. And indeed they will. Patience is a virtue, and clearly for Merical has plenty of it. Another double kill for the Death Prophet. She is on top of the network shards now. There's also a stack to be claimed here.
Just gonna drop down the levels. The Disruptor is level 4, which isn't too bad, but you want the Disruptor to get as many levels as possible, and I mean, compared to the Witch Doctor, he's going to benefit a whole lot more from those levels. I mean, he's been making these rotations to all parts of the map to maybe keep his scores alive or maybe score a kill in exchange, but I think he just needs to babysit the safe laner, pull as much as possible, and hit level 6, maybe even level 8 as soon as possible, because you do want 2 points in that Thunderstrike to zone out the Legion Commander. It's paid off early on, but now he needs points in the glimpse.
Yeah, I agree. I think more importantly, he does need those points in the glimpse to start picking off and punishing that Spectre, especially when she starts haunting in. They're gonna go on Dreamy for now. They will get the crush. No, they actually lifted him so that he dodges the crush. Doesn't matter. They have the steering chains and will get the kill anyway. It did cost them a Spectre haunt, but I think it's worth it at this point. As Spectre walks away with an assist.
Okay, Spectre got the assist. Fine, fair enough.
Back at bottom, the Omni Slash, well, he's short of mana for it, so there isn't really a kill opportunity on RC. He's definitely going to need the Omni Slash as well as the Blade Fury. Possibly even some support coming in, considering that RC's got his Phase Boots online now. There's some nasty damage being done with the overwhelming odds. He has queued up the Blink Dagger though, so no Armlet shenanigans coming out from this LC.
Well,
Watch for the rotation from 647 though. He's got 2 points in the Maledict. And perhaps with the Maledict... No, well, scratch that. I think Maledict does get dispelled with press the attack as well. I am not too certain because Maledict is one of those debuffs that is an exception to the rule. But we'll find out in a bit if it does indeed dispel it. But with Solo Rank Warrior here as well, this should be a fairly comfortable team. Just gotta make sure they time their spells right. They have the vision for the glimpse as well, but they're choosing not to commit just yet.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
okay, what Solar Rank Warrior is doing is a huge problem for me. I mean, he's leveling up Kinetic Field. The one value point makes sense. Anyway, he's got the glimpse, the Kinetic Field which he leveled up didn't connect. And look at this, RC runs back in with the overwhelming odd, runs right back. That was epic fail moment number 1, and epic fail moment number 2 was that crush which you happen to miss, Cloud X. Here's a Blade Fury in a moment of panic for Merical, not sure what they should do, what they shouldn't. The crush is there on the Witch Doctor. Darkseer joins the party with the surge. Slara dropping low will pay with his life, and that's one support and one core going down on the side of Standin 5.
Yeah, some very messy plays coming out from both teams, to be honest. Meanwhile, Death Prophet has popped the ult and taken down the tower at as well.
That's what she should be doing. That's great for Merical.
Yeah, nothing else. They did manage to create space for the DP to go forward. They got 2 kills on the bottom lane as well. That does go in favor for Merical quite heavily, actually. Pashu wanted that Arcane Rune, but it ends up getting stolen right under his nose. Now in 3 seconds, they're gonna have the glimpse. He has been tagged with Thunderstrike. He's dropped him on the cliff. Solo Rank Warrior. He will send Disruption back to the fountain, but he's gonna end up giving up a dual victory to RC.
I would have liked it if they left him there.
Anyway, they'll get the kill on the Witch Doctor at bottom as well, and now you've got a spinning Madara Juggernaut as well in the vicinity. RC, no duel available. They have the lift though, and they will throw him back. The healing rod's been taken out. The stun connects on Dreamy, who could be the one going down instead. Now remember, Mamacita has no mana to work with and needs to be careful since his damage output is absolutely minimal without his mana pool. They are going to disengage from the bottom lane while Kunio continues to farm and build towards that mechanism.
Dire's middle tower is
The
under
peek at the
attack.
Spectre will reveal that she's gone for the Urn of Shadows. The Haunt is back online now. I think they're gonna have to wait for Mamacita to get his mana pool back up and try and make a play with the Haunt once more.
Yeah, maybe just catch the Witch Doctor or the Disruptor out of position. It is an easy Haunt kill, and hopefully they can transition that into an objective.
I think another really crucial flaw in the Merical draft is every time Death Prophet's exorcism is on cooldown, Standin 5 can punish heavily. The only long cooldown spell that they have is the Haunt from the Spectre. With a blink on the Slaughter, a blink on the LC, they can fight within that 135 second window, that 145 second window that the exorcism is out. But this is ambitious. They're actually trying to push the tier 1 before the exorcism cools down.
It's coming up in a couple of seconds. They should be fine. But is grouping up for this tower really that important? I mean, they aren't applying too much pressure on the Spectre. Spectre's been given some free time in the safe lane and is catching up in terms of net worth to the DP.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain Spectre could add value to this team fight as well. The right call here for Standin 5 is to actually blow up the Death Prophet before the fight begins. They will get the lift on the Disruptor, so they won't have a kinetic field and a static storm available for the fight. They brought him down quickly, and they're going to move forward and bring down the Witch Doctor as well. That's 2 supports taken down. Big vacuum wall comes through. But Dreamy, he ends up dropping Mamacita while the Omni Slash does come through and bring down Pashu. It ends up being a 3-for-1 trade in favor of Standin 5. And for Merical, they're going to have to tuck their tails between their legs and make a run for it.
Yeah, good stuff coming out from the Ember there. Got a nice triple remnant which was used aggressively. Did a whole lot of magic burst damage, and Witch Doctor, there's not much he offers. The question is really Witch Doctor the right support for them? I mean, it is too late, but is it what they needed in that draft? What does he offer that another support couldn't have?
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. I'm not a very big fan of this Witch Doctor pickup here. I mean, I feel like Witch Doctor has now become one of those situational supports that you pick up when you want to deal with something like an off-lane Bristleback or an off-lane Timbersaw. Because a spell like the Maledict works really well against it. Or, you know, if someone decides to pocket strike you with something like a Chen or multiple units like a Meepo, that's when you think of picking up a Disruptor. Not a Disruptor, my bad, a Witch Doctor. In this case, it seems like a very premeditated decision for Merical to pick it up without any real value add. But they're going to try and make it work anyway. They are prepping for a kill on the Spectre, but this is possibly the most unconventional trio for a gang. They're going in, but okay, they've got Dreamy coming in as well, and there's no Haunt available. You might as well just throw the kitchen sink at his head as well if you're going to throw down the Static Storm along with it.
Yeah, that was an important rotation coming out from the Radiant. They really needed to shut down the Spectre, who, if I'm not mistaken, has 2 assists to his name and has generally been free farming in the safe lane. Looks like the Radiant want to apply the pressure early on. They do not have Exhaust System, and Spectre doesn't have Haunt for a bit. It looks like they're not even defending this.
Yeah, they might as well just ditch it altogether, considering that the Slara has now picked up his Blink Dagger.
Okay.
And, oh, hang on, that's actually ours. Okay, they both got their Blink Daggers.
Both got their Blink Daggers.
Quite the power spike coming their way. Mamacita on the Ember Spirit. Looks like he's not going for the Veil here. He's going for the Blade Mail first. That's one way to deal with the Death Prophet, I guess. Alright folks, I am not entirely sure if you can hear wedding music in the background, but there seems to be a big procession happening close to where we're at. So if you can hear horrible background noises, do let us know and we'll tweak our mic settings. But if it's just the horrible casters that you hear for now, that's fine. Dreamy, he could be in a bit of a bind here, but yeah, that smoke should have been dispelled. RC has been spotted here. They're hunting, but they might not find anyone. Oh, they have the ward watching Madara. If they jump in, duel him, and blow him up quickly enough, they should be able to make good meat of him. Indeed, they will. RC with the second duel victory, while Spectre moves forward with the haunt. They've got the lift on the Darks here, but they won't let him live for now.
Yeah, the Dire fighting back. They reveal both their blinks and it did pay off. They get a valuable kill on the Juggernaut. They get some dual victory on the Legion Commander. Unfortunately, the Radiant are trying to make a trade happen. But they're giving up the mid tower, which is access though for the Dire into the Radiant jungle.
Yep.
This offlane tower, I mean, I think it's reasonably important. You do control that half of the Dire jungle.
Yeah, I mean, we control the area to the secret shop. That's before Roshan decided to shift his home to the other side of the map. That tower was a lot more important than it is now.
Yeah.
I think this is essentially the most useless tier 1 tower in the game right now. Before it used to be this one.
Yeah, but the Radiant, okay, they've fueled up the Spectre. Follow-up is coming in the form of a Static Storm. The Kinetic Field really off the mark there, but they commit the Death Ward and they score the kill. Spectre dying once more. Crucial kills here for the Radiant. Really slowing down the Spectre's farm.
This is... I don't even know what... I have no words for this, man. He bought a Radiant's recipe first. Who does that? It's 2017, my friend.
It was in his quick buy. He clicked it in a moment of panic. I mean,
one kill. A lot of that is reliable gold. There's absolutely... He spent his reliable gold to buy a Radiant's recipe. That makes no sense in any universe. Anyway, Mamacita is just going to be carving away at the bottom tier 1 tower, adding some more reliable gold to their pockets on the Dire side. On Spectre, the Haunt will come online in 15 seconds, but remember the Death Prophet has the exorcism to go, which means that if they decide to group up and push, for Merical should be the ones in the driver's seat.
what do you think about the Solar Crest pickup on the Death Prophet?
Pretty standard actually. Use Solar Crest.
Cast on yourself while pushing?
Yeah, most of the time. Or, of course, armor reduction with the exorcism, which is physical damages, does have synergy with it, right? Anyway, S5 gonna move in with that smoke. They are gonna put that horn to use right about now, and that value radiance recipe, of course. RC has the blink in the duel, starts the fight off, and they blow up the Death Prophet before she can even respond. They even committed a horn. They're gonna get the kill on the Disruptor. He doesn't get to pop down too many spells, and they're going for more. There's the vacuum in the wall. Catches 3. There's the crush coming out. However, the Omni Slash just rips them a new one. While Mamacita scores a triple kill of his own, it is the Juggernaut that's done work for Merical Esports. Both sides run away with a core each. But I want to say Standin 5 came out slightly ahead in that engagement. They got the dual victory, the Spectre and the Ember Spirit survived, and they do get the kill on the Death Prophet, which is ever so crucial.
Yeah.
However, they did blow the horn for that one, which means that for Merical, we can now group up with the Exorcism and take the tower almost immediately.
Yeah, really, for Merical shouldn't be giving any breathing time to the die. I mean, anytime you give them, it's time for Spectre to farm. It's time for Spectre to get another item. It's time for Horn to come off cooldown. You have Exorcism up, probably just group up as 5 and move down mid. I mean, you do know that the Spectre doesn't have a Radiance. So you could force the issue here.
Yeah, I think that
before she gets too big.
We need the plan here. Anyway, they are still just hanging around and farming in the jungle. What are they waiting for, to be honest? I guess they're just not confident about running into that double blink initiation. And you've also got to respect the absurd amount of magic damage that comes out with Mamacita jumping in. While he doesn't have a veil, he does have the spell amplification talent and the blade mail. It will work wonders versus the Death Prophet, at least while her Yules is on cooldown.
But I mean, if you do draft a push heavy lineup and if you're not pushing, what's the point? You're not going to win the late game. But yeah, it looks like the Radiant do sense that themselves. They've grouped up, they pop the Exorcism, and this tower dropping fast. Overwhelming odds, it can only do that much.
They will pop the fortification, but this tower should be going down. They're going to just trade it for a tier 1. The moment the Exorcism is down again, I think S5's call should be to group up and push, or to pop another smoke and make play happen. Let's take a quick check if they have any smokes on them. Pashu is indeed holding on to a smoke. Now would be the right time to pop it and make a play. Horn's back online too, but it's a tough decision, right? Because the Spectre is quite close to the Radiance. Do you want to risk her life by going for a 5-man fight while she really hasn't really added to her firepower in the last 10 minutes?
Yeah, I think if you're the die, you hold off taking team fights. Exorcism is on cooldown. You probably just wait for the Radiance to not get picked off in the meantime, and hopefully all. I mean, as much as possible, stick together on the map. I mean, Ember can split push as long as he has a Remnant out. Die vision doesn't look that good though. The Radiant do have better vision, and it looks like they're going to take advantage of that. They group up, they pop the smoke.
Yeah, the smoke wasn't spotted out, but remember, it is for Merical that's getting desperate here now. They know that they're on a clock with that Spectre going for the Radiance. They need to make this gank happen. But it looks like Standin 5 are going to masterfully dodge this one. They're going to put RC on the front. That smoke, is it going to break before they get to the Spectre? Spectre has been spotted now, but does have the dagger already thrown out, so she will be able to phase onto the low ground and escape. A close shave for her indeed. Now look at Mamacita. He's going in. They've got the duel thrown down. They've also got the horn suspended here. They're trying to blow up the Death Prophet, but she survived through it all. The back, the wall, the static storm, they're all there. Put down very nicely by Merical Esports, but is it enough? They've already lost the Ember Spirit on Standin 5. The Spectre's gone down without the Radiance complete, and it's a double kill for Dreamy. As Pashu's next on the hit list, they're about to get him a triple, and indeed they will. Was that with the Bloodstone purchase? No, the Bloodstone's still on its way.
A stupid decision coming out from Standin 5. I mean, there's no nicer way to sugarcoat it. I do not know why Rubik decided to start that fight. He should have just waited for Spectre to pick up the Radiance. And especially when you're playing against a push lineup, you do not want to be taking fights when your tier 1s and tier 2s are almost all down. Because they're just going to group up and pop Exorcism, and now Spectre doesn't have the Radiance to fight.
For Merical are going to be able to get this tower quite easily now, and again this decision is just questionable at this point. Ayasha, a blade mail, a diffusal blade, even freaking drums would have added a little more value to her and to her teammates. I just cannot agree with that pickup. Anyway, I'm not saying that's the only reason that they're losing these fights. There's also some pretty decent execution coming out between the Darks here and the Disruptor in these fights.
Absolutely. Darkseid has been spot on with those vacuum walls. Disruptor has been a little off every now and then, but just a static storm position anywhere near the enemy is good enough. And this could be the window of opportunity that the Radiant were looking for. Maybe they just go into the Rosh pit, pick up Roshan. Could do it with the Solar Crush and the Healing Ward. Looks like it's time for another smoke. They do not have Exhaust System this time. They're looking at the LC. LC has the Shadow Blade. They walk in, they break the smoke. The Static Storm is there. Where is the detection? It is just not there when you need it.
It's on 647's courier. And it's on the way now. Lesson learned. The hard way. Quick disclaimer, guys, we do not have full control over the camera and the stats, etc. So you're going to have to make requests on chat, and I'm pretty certain someone from the Nordwind team will be able to show you the stats on the stream. Dota is a little bit buggy when taking feed from us, so not all of what we're showing you is going through on the stream. Anyway, for now, we are looking at for Merical, looking for another pick-off. Maja nahi aa raha, I think. Now he might have some fun considering that he's picked up the Radiance for himself. There is a wraparound coming in from Standin 5 though. They are fighting into a Death Prophet without the exit system. RC pops the Shadow Blade, is looking for an easy target. Goes on to the Death Prophet who times the use perfectly, dodging the crush as well. The silence is there, the wall and the vacuum as well. They will bring down 647 and RC. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but an LC for a Witch Doctor, the trade that they're going to be just happy with. But now that Radiance is being put to work, Disruption will get the kill on Solo Rank Warrior, while it's Bashu making a run for it, gets sliced to bits by Madara. But on the front lines, Dreamy tried to chase down the Ember Spirit. He makes his way up to the high ground. 3-for-2 so far. It's a buyback coming out from the LC, but he's unable to find anything on the back of it.
The chase is still on. Spectre running after the Red Prophet, who does end up popping the shrine. It's actually Spectre who pops the shrine. A couple of remnants ahead, beautifully dodged with the use, but she won't be alive for too long. That's a killing spree going the way of the Legion Commander here, and Spectre unveiling that Radiance in style.
Yep, that did seem to work out quite well for them indeed. The fact that the Spectre survives through all of that means she gets a step closer to her next item of choice. They are going into the pit now, but they have an 8-second window because that's when the Darkseid respawns and causes all sorts of chaos. They're going in though. The Juggernaut has entered the fray. He's got his Blade Fury pop a little preemptively. So they want to chase forward on this Disruption. Slaughter, maybe not, because the duel comes in. It's a double kill for RC, who brings down the Disruptor as well as the Witch Doctor. The vacuum was there. The Healing Ward is stolen by Pashu. What a spell to have when you're trying to take Roshan. Now they're going to make their lives easier. Standin 5. Moving forward with a vengeance.
Yeah, I mean, Darkseid's respawn, but what can he do? He doesn't have a Blink Dagger. He can't jump into the pit and try and snatch the edges. And this is a point of concern here for Merical. I mean, this is where the lineup starts to fall off. Not sure what the play is. Spectre is too strong. Legion Commander does provide lockdown, and they would have won that earlier fight had Legion started. I mean, they would have completely won the earlier fight had Legion got the duel off on the Death Prophet. But yeah, the spikes in the network graph tell us the story. I mean, it is Standin 5's way back into the game.
Well, Mamacita's managed to pick up his Maelstrom as well now, so a lot more magic damage coming out all over the battlefield. There's also the ability to push out these creep waves in conjunction with that POT. Let's have a look at the LC. 48 bonus dual damage. It's going for the Blade Mail. Those multiple Blade Mails are really going to start hurting that Death Prophet with the Exorcism. Not to mention the Juggernaut as well once his Blade Fury is down.
Pashu's done quite well for himself. He's picked up the 4 staff. He did steal the wall in the earlier fight. And he's got the Healing Ward. So I think his team should just group up and push maybe. They've got the Aegis, they've got the Healing Ward. And yeah, I'm really sorry about that, folks, if you hear a woman wailing in the background. I have no idea what her problem is, but it just...
I don't think anyone can hear it. If
okay.
They could, I'm pretty sure chat would have been going nuts already.
Okay.
Anyway, you've got the Yasha now finished up on Vector as well. Manta Style does seem to be the item of choice for her. Good choice, of course, versus the Silence.
It does shrug up the Silence?
Yeah,
I guess. Okay. It shrugs off global silence. I was just wondering if this silence gets special treatment or something.
Why do we even pay you, Vivek? Anyway, they do have the Haunt online. Haunt's online, Exorcism is online, both sides bearing their fangs, ready to go. They've got that Aegis on the Spectre. It's that point where Standin 5 doesn't want to wait around anymore. Or rather, they shouldn't be waiting around anymore.
Yeah, I mean, this is go time for them. They've got the Radiance, Ember has Yules as well. Do not know what they're waiting for. They should just group up. They are the stronger team at the moment. Not sure what's stopping them. Teamfight coming out of the Darkseer is a concern. He's got the Blink Dagger as well. I think Legion should probably pop his Shadow Blade and go on the hunt, which he has done though.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He's also picked up. Oh, this could be a death for Dreamy. Perfect positioning. He's found him off guard and found him isolated. Death Prophet down for 55, but there's the vacuum at the wall. They drop down the Static Storm. It catches two. Can they continue this fight? Because forward, we're going to see the Spectre's illusions zoning out the entirety of Merical. So they managed to bait out the Haunt, but it does come at the cost of the Death Prophet's life. They've also blown the vacuum in the wall there, putting it on cooldown for 85 seconds.
And the Dial lose nothing. Pashu has the healing ward. They're just going to heal up and push again. What a wonderful spec to steal. That too at the right time coming out from the Rubik. That Prophet does have buyback, but I guess she's going to hold on to it. Probably until they reach high ground at the very least. But yeah, good stuff coming out from the Legion. Duel the right target, got the kill, got the most important kill that he could get. But Standin 5, it looks like they've had enough. They're disengaging.
Yeah, the 66 bonus damage is it's gonna start hurting, no doubt. I'm wondering if this is a game where the LC goes KB over and above everything that he's picked up already. It's got a lot of value to add here versus the Disruptor and the Witch Doctor, so I wouldn't be too surprised if he chose to go for it. In fact, I would actually advocate it here.
Definitely, the KB does seem to be the right item for him, but he skewed up the Assault. Classic Indian greed, and it looks like the Witch Doctor. Not sure what he was doing, maybe getting a D-ward off.
Spectre simply slices his head off. Duel coming in onto the Disruptor. They've not enough damage to blow him up, but it's going to be... Yes, it is. Another duel victory for the LC, and that is despite the duels being used to send RC up into the air. That will transition into another tier 2 tower takedown, and while they've still got the Aegis on the Spectre, they might not consider going in because the Haunt is on cooldown for 20 seconds. Alright, we're getting some feedback that the singing lady is audible, so we're just gonna try and tweak stuff around here.
Yeah.
Shutting all the doors, boxing ourselves in.
1 second.
Just give us a moment, guys. Really sorry about this. There we go. Movement has been dealt with.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Alright, we are about to see a fight breaking out here. Madras really want to be the one leading the fight like this. Got an Ember Spirit in the vicinity. He's actually picked up a Yules of his own to deal with the silence. They are bearing their fangs at this tier 2. There's the jump in the duel. Gone on the Darkseer. While they have dropped down a very big Static Storm, it might be too late as the Haunt has been pressed as well. For Merical Dreamy, he's popped the duels, he's kept himself alive for now, dodging those radiant damages, he's fighting his way through, life-stealing, spirit siphoning away from 3 heroes, but it doesn't matter. It's a 5-man wipe in favor of Standin 5. They do end up losing the Spectre, but he's paid the price, well worth it for the team wipe for Merical. That tier 2 will also go crashing down, and didn't the Spectre have an Aegis? I believe it got reclaimed mid-fight there.
Yeah, maybe just timed out.
Anyway, you have a buyback from Death Prophet, but we all know she doesn't exist. And the lips are there, the bashes are kicking in as well.
Yeah, she can't even get to her shrine. She will end up falling. The Maldic is there on the Slada, and he will end up falling to the Witch Doctor, who is brought down rather swiftly by Mamacita on the Ember Spirit. Look at him dive, look at him go. Disruptor not using the glimpse defensively, trying to run to a shrine. Darkseer comes to the party, gets rooted up, and immediately has to run back to base. And Legion Commander doing most of the heavy lifting with the right clicks on the tower. The Radiant just chain feeding here.
One by one, the Dire just finding pick-up after pick-up, abusing the mobility that comes with those multiple blink daggers. Well, it looks like they are going to end up paying the price with RC. That Maldic does not actually get shrugged off with press the attack. But he didn't take any damage over the duration of that Maldic being thrown on him, so he will actually survive.
For those of you just tuning in, this is the ESL India Premiership. This is phase 1 of the Masters. My name is Vikram. With me is CloudX, and this wonderful tournament is organized by Nordwind Gaming and brought to you by HP, by Omen,
By HP.
Omen by HP,
Zowie by BenQ, and
Zowie by BenQ, and HyperX. Is that HyperX? Okay, just HyperX.
Just HyperX. 647 meanwhile, struggling to get any sort of items on this Witch Doctor. Again, you know, we've been harping about the same tune over and over again. One mistake on the side of the Radiant, picking that Witch Doctor without having a proper game plan behind it. I would love to have a discussion with them about why they chose this Witch Doctor, because I haven't seen any value add so far from it. The other discussion I want to have is with the Spectre and why he chose to pick up the Radiance recipe first. While it is paying off now, considering his full Radiance did get completed eventually, I feel like S5 would have had a much easier game if they chose for some build-up items instead. But they are in a comfortable spot now. They have taken down the tier 3, which means the shrines are up for grabs as well. With that bonus 102 damage on RC, he's making quick work of it as well. And Roshan's going to respawn in just a bit. What are you doing, Ember Spirit? That is not your bait. Oh, take a bow, Mamacita.
I think that's fine. He forced out. He forces out the death ward. Not that Witch Doctor is doing much. Can you just take a quick look at Witch Doctor? I want to see what his talents are.
Picked up the respawn time reduction. And
no wonder he respawned so quickly. I was wondering, is he that badly under level? 45 seconds, 40 seconds, minus 40 seconds respawn time. Quite legit.
Yeah, but again, I don't think that's a reason to pick up.
No, that is not a reason to pick up the Witch Doctor. There is no reason to pick up the Doctor here. And it wasn't done as a response to the Legion. It came out before the Legion, if I'm not mistaken.
Not too sure.
Not too sure.
Yeah. Anyway, the onslaught continues. Standin 5 continues to push through the top lane. They're yet to take a later barracks, but I think the safer play is to claim the Aegis and then make a play. Pashu's already going to duck his head into the pit to check whether or not Rishik is respawn, and now he's going to be able to provide valuable intel for his team, who's just beelining for the pit.
Pashu's quite farmed. I mean, he's sitting at a 4-staff and a completed bike. That's a lot for Rubik. I mean, 60 gold per minute talent. It's not as much as, like, say, 420 gold per minute. He's done quite well for himself. He's at 7k net worth. Quite a bit ahead of the Disruptor and the Witch Doctor though. And easy Roshan for Standin 5, high ground on the cards for them. Just to defend. And it will take a great vacuum wall static storm combo coming out of them.
Well then, Aegis on the Spectre once again, and with a freaking Reaver on him. Has he completed the heart? Yeah, he's actually got a full heart all the way.
Didn't open with the recipe this time though. But yeah, he's done quite well for himself. Standin 5. Their lineup does get better as time progresses. 20,000 goal lead in their favor.
But even so, this is a lineup that could fight on the high ground. In theory, the Darkseer and the Disruptor can pull off one of those, oh my god, wombo combo moments. But for that, Standin 5 needs to be a team of bots. They are going to finish what they started though. Probably going to need an Observer Ward on the cliff to make their lives easier. Do they have any vision inside the base? I don't see a single Dire Observer Ward here, so we're going to have to do it the old school way, that is to send the Spectre up with her Manta Illusions. And
I think Ember's just going to keep a Remnant behind,
Radiant
jump in ahead,
are under attack.
keep them busy.
Mother could be in trouble. You've got the blink forward from Mamacita. He does get the Shiver's Guard popped as well. They're going to blow up the Witch, and indeed he's down without any sort of retaliation coming out from Merical. But he's going to be back in 10 seconds. They're not too bothered about that. They are just sacrificing this lane of barracks, knowing that they're not in a position to defend this. They're going to pop a smoke now, but that smoke should have been scouted out. The dagger was upon them. They'll take an easy lane of barracks here before backing away.
Sorry folks, once again we've got Naga side in the background for all. Just do not go to sleep. Pop your BKB, stay awake because we have quite a game on our hands here between Standin 5 and 4 Merical. Can 4 Merical come back though? That is the question. Naga cancer.
Hey. I mean, even if she's not in the game, she's freaking cancerous, man. But anyway, Mamacita going to finish what they started again through the top lane this time around. They have they already finished up on him now with a Shiva's Guard and a Blade Mail. Watch for the dual initiation because really that's what RC is relying on for the most part.
Mid lane, Spectre trying to split up the Radiant, pushing through mid. The Ember keeps them busy in the top lane. Legion still looking for that initiation that he spoke about.
Mamacita's just not bothered, man. He doesn't even want to join the fray. He's busy pushing in the top lane, and the rest of the attack was upon the Spectre. He's gone back to see the building. Perfect play coming out from Standin 5 this time around, not getting over Zealous, but there's the jump in. They got the stat. Completely airballing. This could be the beginning of the end. A run for it so far. He's really low on HP. Does end up surviving, but there's the Witch Doctor going down. A BKB on Disruption Slaughter as well as he's trying to chase down Dreamy. Does need another crush, but he's gonna end up dropping himself. It's really a ring around the rosy inside the Dire base. 2 buybacks coming out now. The Witch Doctor, who had a ridiculously low respawn time, buys back anyway and comes into the fray. Whips up the Maledict. They do get the Searing Chains off. The Shiva's Guard is there. Another Vacuum Connect. Well, it's a triple kill for Mamacita. He's just kiting in and out, doing serious damage on the Radiant side here. A Spectre goes in to clean the job on the Witch Doctor. That is a Witch Doctor with a dieback that's respawning in 30 seconds. But every single time he comes back, he adds less and less value.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
Yeah, 4 Merical, they tried hard and they didn't succeed. The Static Storm was completely whiffed. And Mamacita keeping them at bay there with all those Searing Chains and Sleight of Fist. But it looks like 4 Merical have conceded defeat. Standin 5 are your victors for the day. They did win yesterday. And this is a win streak that they are riding at the moment.
Yep, they're doing pretty well so far. They should be at the top of the table, I believe. They're actually going to be 2-1 now. Their score's going to be 2-1. They'll be second on the table, I believe, with a total of 6 points. Anyway, folks, hope you guys have had a blast. I'm CloudX with Vivek from AFK Gaming. If you have enjoyed, don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the ESL India Premiership YouTube channel. You can also follow them on Facebook for daily live streams, 6:30 p.m. onwards. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Any and all feedback is most appreciated.
When you murder, it's a sin. In the midst of your conviction, we all crave for you, we all crave. Just a little time. Know your addiction's not a crime. It's just a smaller part of who you want to become in the end.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, everybody who's joining us on the ESL India Premiership 2017's Day 5 live stream. What a wonderful match, first of all, in the Dota 2 match just happened, which you guys just witnessed between Standin 5 and 4 Merical. Now, let me remind you, 4 Merical is a team which hails all the way from Nepal, and they got decimated by Standin 5. What a wonderful scoreline, what a wonderful gameplay at the end of the day. Kudos to you, Standin 5, and a lot of thanks to Nishant CloudX Patel and Vivek Venkatraman, our casters for this game. Now moving on, ladies and gentlemen, we have one last game to stream. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have the game of Counter-Strike Global Offensive, which is in the offing between two teams which are amazing. Now, Entity Esports is one of the teams which are going to be there. And now, after that, Entity Esports and Entity Esports is this team which is based out of Bombay and managed by this person called Sid Joshi. Wonderful manager, and the lineup has been showing some consistent gameplay through and throughout various LAN events around the country. Moving on to their competitors, TMG, Trademarc Gaming. Now, a lot of you would remember them as the team which lost face against Risky Gaming when they faced off against them in the last match they saw. So now TMG, a Bangalore-based team, versus Entity Esports, a Bombay-based team. Who wins? Who loses? Well, that's for them and their gameplay to decide, considering both of these teams lost against Risky Gaming. So ladies and gentlemen, we have the game of Counter-Strike Global Offensive casted by Blair and Fett joining us for this game, the last game of the day 5 of the stream of the ESL India Premiership 2017, brought to you by Omen by HP, Zowie by BenQ, HyperX, and organized by Northern Gaming.
Personalize the way you see everything, and then conquer. Exclusive Black Equalizer brightens dark scenes without overexposing bright areas. Use the S switch to quickly access the setting and switch between save modes. Adjust the angle effortlessly for maximum comfort.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Counter-Strike Global Offensive. This is the ESL Premiership Masters Series, and today's matchup is between Trademarc Gaming and Entity Esports. Entity Esports, widely regarded as possibly the best team in the country at the moment. They've been scrimming against opponents from the SEA region, and of course, they always perform admirably well against Indian opponents. Trademarc Gaming, on the other hand, are, well, a very confidence-based team. You saw them playing yesterday against Risky Gaming, and they unfortunately had to play a lion's share of the game 4v5 and had a ton of disconnection issues, network issues, and power issues owing mainly to the fact that it rained in Bangalore and the internet here got messed up. And we're going live with the knife round, and it is Mirage. This is, funnily enough, both Entity's and TMG's favorite map. TMG having seen the lion's share of their success on Mirage, and same with Entity. Although the last time I saw them play on this map, it was TMG who came out on top. But that was a different Entity lineup, and they did not have Sai and I think Excali back in the day. No, they did have Excali. They didn't have A-Star and Sai back in the day. And yeah, the knife round going live, and there we go. Kills coming out all across the board, and Marshall, the lone survivor, and oh, Sai gets the stabby done on Marshall. So it looks like they're going to be switching sides. There's always the knife round team. The one team who wins the knife round goes for the CT side. This is Mirage, the CT side being the preferred side always. And I hope TMG are okay. They just got done playing an absolute marathon of a game with Rage Inc. in the Corbex tournament. That game lasted for a grand total of 78 rounds, finishing 40-38 in favor of Rage Inc. So yeah, I hope they've got their heads back on their shoulders and they're ready to play some good Counter-Strike. I mean, at the end of the day, that's all we want to watch, some good Counter-Strike. Pistol round going live in 1 second, and it's Ux who's going to be running with the utility on TMG. Haku choosing to opt for the Deagle, and Sai going to peek out mid, spots out Haku. It's 2 players by mid, 2 players by B bomb site outside B apps, and Entity favoring their standard 2-1-2 setup. Although at the moment A-Star is playing pretty passive towards the B bomb site. It's just Excali holding down the fort over here at the B bomb site. And Ribby spotting out mid. He's going to get help in the form of Sai. Sai spotting out Marshall. They know the 2 players, of course. Oh, tapping down. Haku seems to have taken some damage, and Ribby down to 32 points of health. In the meantime, the 2 players who were holding B apps have made their way out underpass. And it's going to be... Looks like it's going to... The bomb, although... Funnily enough, is making his way to the B bomb side, but Moon pops right up and takes Ribby's head clean off. And Entity seem to have gotten the read that it is going to be eventually a B hit. 2 players have made their way onto the B bomb side there. The bomb does get spotted. Now it's all down to Excali. He's going to hold down the fort over on the B bomb side, and already getting tagged down pretty low and taken out by Haku. In the meantime, the B defense has completely crumbled. Ace making his way over to the market and tagging down Haku, insta-ding through the wall. He's down to 16 HP. Marshall on 38. Pretty low. Sai, on the other hand, is making his way up B short. Ace does found Ux. Marshall holding patiently. And Marshall finding Ace, and Sai getting found out by Haku. Pistol round going TMG's way. First round on the board. It's so very important on the T side to get off to a flying start, especially for a team like TMG, which is extremely confidence-based and plays off of, you know, how good they're feeling. It's a very emotional team. They're all young lads except Ux and Petricor, who form the more experienced part of the lineup. Petricor having played in Dubai, Ux having played in the States. They do form the more experienced and grounded part of the team. While Moon, Haku, Marshall, they're all very, very young lads and very, very emotional. Force by coming out immediately, and there goes Sai's Deagle to work, spamming through the smoke, hoping to connect. In the meantime, A-Star brings his Deagle to work as well as D-Shot, taking a ton of grenade damage. Both Sai and A-Star, they're brought down to half HP. Still rattling shots off by mid. Nothing to show for it so far. In the meantime, Bomb is making its way over to the B apps. It'll all come down to, again, Excali and A-Star, but funnily enough, A-Star's rotating off of B just as the B push comes in. And there we see the rotation also coming in full force. Excali, the lone defender, being joined soon by Ace. Oh, his CZ does some serious work, does drop Moon, but gets immediately traded out by Haku. Moon coming in with 2 quick kills. And wow, it's down to a 2v2 all of a sudden. Sai's Deagle just rattling off some nasty shots. They're picking up 1 kill. And it's all down to Moon, who's already gotten 2 kills. And Petri here by apps. He needs to be careful because Ribby, he should have heard Ribby by now. Picks up a UMP, and Ribby takes him down. It's all down to Moon now. He's on full HP though. So is Ribby. armor on both of them, so this is going to be hard. He needs to play this perfectly. There, gets the pick onto Sai, but already gets tagged down. Ribby making his presence known and does spray him down. Unfortunate there for Moon, unable to hold on the fort, but maybe he's just done enough in terms of time. Nope. Ribby has enough time on the clock to get in the defuse as well. Scores are tied 1-1. I feel bad. You see, as the meta evolves all over the world, for the CTs to go for a full save against the SMG buy-up that's inevitably going to come in the second round after losing the pistol on the CT side, the Indian and Asian scene still lag behind in the sense that they still prefer going for the force buy. I've only seen Boot Dreamscape as of now, who will full save or just buy up pistols in order to get the full utility buy-up in their first gun round. But the reason that the force buy still works is because of the fact that, this works. In the meantime, Moon finding A-Star. The force up from TMG catching A-Star there by a little bit of surprise, I think. Ace in the meantime is pushing up A-Slope, holding a fairly aggressive angle here, hoping to catch someone with their pants down. As of now, it's not going to happen, but I think it's Marcel with the bomb. He needs to be careful here. Ace, very aggressive angle. He has a flash. He has 2 flashbangs. He should flash out, but no utility usage. What is that? Bomb down. Bomb has been spotted. In the meantime, Sai does find Ux as well. This is going from bad to worse for TMG. That Molotov is going to burn Ribby. He's burning. Just managing to make his way to safety and does spot out 2 players, spraying away, brings out the 5-7, yet unable to convert. And there goes Sai. Sai chiming in with the assist, leaving Moon all alone. Does find the kill on Ribby. That's 1 rifle taken out of the equation, but then there's still 2 UMPs left and they do have bomb control. In the meantime, Ace is pushing all the way up T-spawn. There's a lot of information going for him. And yeah, there goes Moon. Gets spotted out by Excali. Moon still thinking there's someone coming in from B short. Excali expertly repositioning himself onto ticket booth. Ooh, Moon spraying away, but Excali just jiggle peeking him and giving him a free haircut to boot. Moon to fall. Entity 2-1. And yeah, as I was saying before, I got rudely interrupted by all the kills and all the action in that round. The reason in the Asian scene the force buy after the pistol loss is still prevalent is because it works. And now because the team TMG lost 2 rounds on the trot, they have to eco. And just upgraded pistols there for 3 players. Haku with the Deagle, Moon with the P250, so is Marshall. Everyone else, the remaining 2 players on TMG opting to stay with the Glocks. This is going to be an absolute slaughter as they walk out here because Ace is just going to spray them down. Gets 1. And there's Ribby with the assist. Gets 2 in return. Farming up those SMG kills. In the meantime, Ace with the 3K. Ribby with the 2K. Work done. Perfect. Flawless anti-eco. Money in the bank. And Ribby might just drop the op or pick one up for himself. He's a pretty accomplished opper himself. But then they do have this man, Sai. So one could say that both Marshall and Marshall from TMG and Antidote from Dare to Dream could give him a run for his money on their day. But in terms of consistency and overall gameplay, Sai is the superior player from both these players. Marshall just too young at the moment, still lacking some temperament issues. While Antidote, still a very potent learner and avid learner, he's a very, very, good learner. And in the meantime, Ribby pushing through the smoke, but Haku finding him in return. Sai retreating with the op onto the A-bomb side. Does he know that once someone's made their way up Tetris, he needs to be careful because if Haku decides to peek this, he will be caught out in the open. Much better positioning. In the meantime, bomb is rotating, but look at the flank coming in from from A-Star. Sai catches Marshall dropping down. And look at that shot. Fast shot onto Marshall, but Moon with the quick trade. It's down to a 3v3. The bomb needs to go down ASAP and Haku there. Oh, unfortunately gets caught with his pants down. Petri will now smoke off jungle, allowing for the bomb to go down, but he's getting sprayed down from B short. A-Star taking no prisoners there. Petri's really low. He needs to be really careful. Excali, though, gets the drop in on him. And yet again, Moon left in a 1v2 clutch situation. This man needs to go huge this round. because they need this gun run. And the Molotov comes in, it's going to force him out, and A-Star knows exactly where he is now, and he's very low. And A-Star is going to lead him his last rites as Moon's dejected body falls onto the floor. Excali just toying with the defuse there, or maybe his E key got stuck. You never know, because you know the pros, they do things their own way. On the topic of the best offers, I need to mention a few more names on the list. Had to cut short the discussion there because the round picked up and the action started. Sai there, watching A-Main like a hawk. In the meantime, A-Star pushes up mid and catches a Petrichor who was napping there. Petrichor, no trade potential. It was a 1v1. Like, if either of them had come up the better in that exchange, they would have, you know, gone untraded, and that's exactly what happened. And in the meantime, 2 quick kills over by the A-bomb side, A-Star falling, and so does Ribby. In the meantime, Ace with the Kobe from the good gods above. And unfortunately for Moon, he's stuck below Palace, and the smoke at CT has begun to fade. He's going to spray down, he's going to try and spray down Excalibur. Unfortunately, he's unable to do so. Ux, in the meantime, is in a 1v1 clutch against Excali, and he finds the head and puts the second round on the board for TMG. Mind you, this is a CT-sided map, and both Entity and TMG are fairly competent on Mirage. Rounds going a bit back and forth, and yeah, as I said, on the list of those best and top oppers in the country, I have to mention Rix from Brutality. At one point, he was by far the best opper in the country, bar none. But right now, he has dropped off a little bit. But he uses his experience instead of, you know, with age, reflexes naturally go down, but he's still one of the fastest ops in the country. And look at this aggressive hold by Connector by Sai. It's just peering under the smoke. And I'm guessing, yeah, TMG are aware of Sai's potency with that weapon. So they're going to decide against pushing mid right off the bat. And this is a very different gameplay we're seeing from TMG. As we saw when I saw them play against Rage Inc. earlier this evening. They're a lot more reserved, a lot more measured. They're using utility a lot better. It just goes to show the amount of respect that both these teams have for one another. They're not going and playing the YOLO plays. Marshall, in the meantime, will be walking up A-Ramp and A-Star and Excalia there to, you know, batten down the hatches, as they say. And that nade is literally going to do bugger all. Pop flashing himself in Excali. Oh, the timing, and Marshall does spot Excali out and gets the headshot onto him. That's the B bomb site more or less, because A-Star in the meantime is stuck in ladder room because he's expecting at least a player to come up short, and his instincts serve him very well. In the meantime, the bomb does get planted. And Haku needs to be careful. Oh, A-Star finding 2 quick kills on the Moon and Ux, and Ribby finding the kill onto Haku as well. A-Star finally being taken down. Oh, look at this, look at this. Marshall, what? What is this? It's like a comedy of errors going on in market right now. All down to Petri now in a 1v2 situation. He's going to get flanked from both sides. And then down goes Petri, Ribby taking him down. And that, my friends, is the joy of playing on 4v3. Marshall and Sai just waltzing past one another. Not a care or clue in the world. I thought Marshall was going for a cheeky knife. Five rounds on the board for Entity. That was quite comedic. And look at that, the swag 7 out onto Excali. Excali, when he burst on into the scene, he was regarded as by far one of the best aimers, the best raw aimers and mechanics-wise onto the scene. And there we go, Sai opening things up with his boomstick, the big green gun. And now, marking underpass. And Marshall needs to be careful. Oh, the timing. Just not going to favor Marshall. In the meantime, the bomb has made its way onto the B bomb side, and Marshall just bombing up mid. He might just catch the 2 players completely unawares. Sai needs to be very careful of this. Gets one, gets 2. Marshall with the drive-by with the P2 50 and picking up the round on what seemed to be a complete eco. And will the CTs go for this retake is the question. If they manage to find a kill, I think they will go. Otherwise, the call for the save should go out. Ace playing fairly passive. I think he's waiting on the call from Ribby. Oh, Marshall missing the shot. You really can't miss those. But in the meantime, Moon with the swag 7 stolen from X-Cali gets the kill onto Ribby, and Marshall lands the shot. I think that was onto Ace at B shot. Three rounds to 8. 5-3 is the score going into the 9th round, and finally the CT economy is broken and they will be forced into an eco. Please don't walk into a B stack. Take your time, use your utility TMG. You have a crap ton of it. Use it, please. Sai in the meantime is going to inch up mid and completely catch Haku unawares. Sai trading the kill that A-Star, trading A-Star up pretty efficiently down to a 4v4 and also managing to recover an AK-47, but Marshall's there to stop any shenanigans from Sai, not allowing him to recover the rifle and ending his round right there and then. In the meantime, replay coming out, X-Cali tapping away, decapitating Ux. That is not on the cards for TMG this round. They lost 2 rifles already. Lots of economic damage done from almost minimal investment, and X-Cali almost landing the tap onto Moon as well, but Moon not having any of that, and the aim punch just not letting him get the kill. Ribby, it's down to a 1v3. He does have armor, so he can do some more damage there to TMG, but will he be able to is the question. Tagging down Moon, they know exactly where he's playing from. I don't know why he's being allowed to survive for so long, and he's completely Helen Kellered now. Ooh, tapping away. Both of them get into a spray battle. Moon comes out on top, and there lies Ribby on his own funeral pyre. 4 rounds to 5 to TMG. Not a bad showing so far. Money still not looking as good on Entity, but I think they are going to force it up. Yep. Fairly light buy coming out from Entity. Sai and X-Cali opting to go for the UMP and the utility plays, while Ace, A-Star and Ribby go with the rifles. Ribby, with the most money in that team, can buy up some utility as well. That is the importance of economy management in this game, ladies and gentlemen, especially on the CT side. Before you know it, your money can just evaporate in front of you because the CT side is inherently more expensive. And as you can see right now, there's not a single kit on the CT side. That, oh wow, doesn't mean they don't need it. Ribby decapitating Petri there, and Sai finding Ux. I don't get this. I honestly don't get these plays from TMG. I don't know why it's such a stubborn refusal to use any modicum of utility as they walk into the A bomb site. It just really triggers me, to be very honest. Ace rattling off a few shots into Palace, but Moon in the meantime does find Sai, but at the cost of all of his HP. Gets tagged down to 19 points of health. And now it's all down to Haku. And Ribby, who's held a very good position, does manage to land the headshot onto Haku, but he's also now internally bleeding at 9 HP. It's down to a 3v3, but 2 players have a collective HP of 20. To make scratch that, Marshall falls to A-Star. Down to a 2v3 with 2 players just on the precipice of death. They're flirting with death. 9 and 19 HP respectively. And now finally they're deciding to take the bomb over to mid. But A-Star's waiting with arms wide open. Whoa! But somehow completely whiffing that spray. And Moon finds the kill. They need to hurry wherever they're going. There's just 17 seconds left on the clock. And X-Cali hears everything and will be positioned as primely as possible. Down goes the bomb. And that nade is not going to do anything. Down 2 HP now. I just get the smoke plant off. And oh, that spray doing absolutely bugger all. And X-Cali though does get the defuse. Haku managing to get the bomb down somehow. Oh, wait, what happened? Okay. I think the E key on his keyboard is bugging out. He needs to rebind that very quickly because it could get really hairy if he was like in a more tight time constrained situation there. if you notice the CT economy right now, there, even though they won the previous round, you'll notice that the buy isn't as strong as you'd hope. Although Sai does get on his favorite, the big green gun, the AVP. But the buy is still light because of the fact that they lost so many players. Ooh, Sai there, holding that pixel angle. In the meantime, Ace picking up Haku. Oh, they need to be careful. Moon landing that shot. Excali finding Moon as well. This is just going from bad to worse. In the meantime, Ux does find Excali, but it's down to a 1v2 with Petri on very low, and Sai trying to emulate Cold Zera there. Jumping up, trying the no-scope. Ux should have spotted him out. Unfortunately, though, I don't think he has, and Sai has a very good idea where he's playing from. There we go, landing the wall bang, down to 6 HP, but Ux somehow managing to find the kill onto Sai, doing as much economic damage as possible because both the players are hemorrhaging everything they have inside. Internally is what I mean to say. Ace acting a bit paranoid. He's checking everything. He knows Ux is in B apps, but Petri in the meantime is inching up B short. Needs to be careful though. Ribby, very careful. And just because they've spent a lot of time being passive, the players are peeling off of the B bomb side. But this play from A-Star is just giving them so much information that he doesn't hear anything in Palace. And look at that, Ux getting the drop onto Ace as well. And that should call for the B rotate. And yep, you can see A-Star bombing up T-spawn. And Ribby, in the meantime, has made his way into market and into a favorable position. He's going to wait for the bomb to go down. I think Petri should be marking market. Yes, and that's exactly what he does. A-Star all alone in a 1v2, but two Ts are just so low. They're just so low, and they have just one flashbang remaining, and that too on Ux. Ux should be careful. Petri, oh, A-Star spotting out the barrel of Petri's gun, but Ux shooting him in the back of the head. Somehow these two veterans of the Indian CSGO scene, Ux and Petri, managing to clutch that round from the jaws of defeat on a collective HP of 17. Yet another eco coming out. They won one round and get immediately reset. This is the worst possible position for the CTs to be in, but this aggressive play. Ooh, Ux does pot outside. He doesn't have any armor. Should not have much trouble dispatching off with him. In the meantime, Marshall does completely erase Excali off the server. But A-Star's made his way into the same position, and he's in a very good place to catch Marshall off guard as he aggresses onto the B bomb site. And that Deagle, as we all know, a very potent weapon. In the meantime, Ace gets tagged down, and Marshall gets caught napping and peeks out regardless of his low HP and completely wrecks A-Star with the op. Granted, they were saving, and now Marshall needs to be careful. He shouldn't be hungry for frags. He should just play a bit passive, let his teammates do the killing for him. In the meantime, really picking up the kill onto Moon, but not anymore. Petri Core ending his shenanigans. Ace, the lone survivor. Petri jumping up and down, trying to play Mario, I think, but still managing to get the kill onto Ace with the UMP somehow. 2 kills with the UMP, and also recovering that AK that Moon dropped. Well played, Anti-Eco.